All right. We are live.
We should be live on Facebook.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Facebook Mastermind group. We are the Law of Success in 16 Lessons, and we are discussing the Law of the Mastermind tonight. This is a group that is come together to study the laws of success in 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill. If you know Napoleon Hill like I know Napoleon Hill, you know that he was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie to find the richest men in the world and be introduced to them and to discuss the major laws of success. And he took the time to identify what those laws of success were, and he took the time to put them into the laws of success in 16 lessons. And we are the Law of Success in 16 Lessons group. So thank you and welcome to the call. My name is Matthew Castle. I'm calling from Michigan. It's chilly here today, and we'll introduce ourselves. Panelists.
Yeah, my name.
But he's excited. It's a good thing. Go ahead, Andre. Share your name.
Yeah, my name is Andre Guérin. I'm calling from La Chute, Quebec, Canada. I'm very glad to be here tonight again on that mastermind.
My name is Hugo De La Torre, and I'm calling here from sunny South Florida. Welcome.
My name is Anthony Bassett. I'm here from Lansing, Michigan.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the call. Tonight, as you know, is the Mastermind. We talked about the definite chief aim over the last couple calls, but tonight we'll be going into the Mastermind. The Mastermind is a principle that has been around since the times of Christ, to be honest with you. It's been around and practiced since before then, when hunting packs got together back in prehistoric times to take down the woolly mammoth. That was a law of a mastermind that got together for a definite chief aim, and they would accomplish their definite chief aim by killing the woolly mammoth. So masterminds have been around for a long time, but the power of the mastermind wasn't put to use or put to thought until Napoleon Hill back in the early 1900s, and that's why we're here to study it tonight. So welcome to the call.
Well, tonight we're going to talk about 4 subjects. First, we're going to talk about forming a mastermind alliance. Then we're going to talk about maintaining that alliance. Then about forming an alliance within thyself, within yourself. And by the end of the night, hopefully, if we get through all this, we're going to cultivate mastermind alliance wherever we go in life. Ready to rock and roll, Matt?
Ready to rock and roll.
Thank you for being here tonight. The goal of the mastermind is to help us empower each other and make us better communicators. That's our first goal. So please, by all means, share a thought as we go on this call. This is an open call, so you can interrupt us at any time and ask questions or share your ideas. At the end of the 45 minutes, we'll have an open round table where everybody can share their ideas as to what you heard and how it made you feel. So the first subject is about forming your mastermind alliance. And you know, a mastermind alliance is built when 2 or more minds come together and they work in perfect harmony, so there's towards a common, definite object.
Yep, the mastermind principle lets you appropriate and use the full strength. Not just part of the strength, but the full strength, experience, training, and knowledge of other people, just as if they were your own. You can overcome almost any obstacle you face, no matter what your own education or talents, if you use the mastermind principle effectively.
You know, man, no one has ever attained outstanding success in anything without applying this mastermind principle. No one mind is complete, but you see, when we come here together and share our thoughts, that's how great minds are created, because they have been reinforced through contact with others that allow them to grow. and to expand. So that's our goal here at the Mastermind Group. So let us talk a little bit about forming that Mastermind Alliance. Forming that Mastermind Alliance, that's the first subject.
Yeah, for a model of a mastermind alliance at work, consider a train crew. The conductor, you, can take the train to its destination only because all the other members of the train crew recognize and respect his authority, your authority. Now, what would happen if the conductor failed to signal to the engineer that it was time to start? Passengers would abandon the train and find some other way to get where they wanted to go. If the engineer didn't bother to heed the signals along the track, the resulting crash could cost lives.
That is right. So for our Mastermind Alliance to work and to function properly, we got to have a clear and mental picture of exactly what it is that we want, so that when you tell your crew when to open the throttle or when the baggage needs to come in, everything should be working in perfect order. So there are some, how can I say, simple steps that we can take to make sure that that is the case. All right,
Step
Matt?
1, determine your purpose.
That's right. The first step in putting together a Mastermind Alliance is to adopt a definite of purpose. What are we trying to attain? I mean, who's going to board the train if we don't know where the heck we're going? Obviously, you cannot do this and not have selected where you're going. If you don't know your chief aim, you got to have that purpose. And that purpose has got to be very clear and aligned with everybody that comes part of that group.
Now, if you've already written out your definite major purpose and the means that you'll use to attain it, this step will be familiar for you. Writing out the plan for your alliance's success will make you aware of every one of the links of the chain you must forge. Inevitably, there will be links you have neither the skill nor the resources to join yourself. Just as the conductor cannot simultaneously collect fares, work the dining car, and keep a hand on the throttle. This brings you to your second step, to select the members of your alliance.
Well, when we choose the people that's going to help us attain our goal, we got to be very careful with that. If not, that's the hardest part. At times, at first, we're going to pick some people that at later times, we're going to find out they're not the most appropriate ones. And we're going to also develop a need as we grow into this group, and there's going to be roles that have to be filled, and trial and error is going to be part of the process. But there are two qualities that we have to keep at the top of our mind when we're trying to select other people, so that we avoid many surprises that come ahead when you're trying to create a mastermind alliance.
The first ability, to do the job. Do not select people for your alliance merely because you like and know them. Hey, such people are valuable to you because they improve the quality of your life, but they are not necessarily suited to a mastermind alliance. Your best friend may not be the most knowledgeable marketing professional in your area, but perhaps he can introduce you to someone who is.
The other one is, more important is, can they do the work? And even greater, more important is, what is their spirit of harmony in which they help others? What happens is this. Hopefully, we're not going too fast. Without harmony, any mastermind alliance will fall through. It might not happen right away, but guess what? It may happen right before you're getting to get that thing done. And we don't want no surprise like that.
Well, Andrew Carnegie once told the author of this book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, of a worldwide search he conducted for his chief chemist. His scouts found a brilliant man working for a German firm. His ability was without question, and Carnegie entered into a 5-year contract for the man's services. Within a year, he had realized the man from the bargain. Why? Because the chemist was so temperamental that he had an entire department in upheaval. None of the other chemists could work with him, and the fellow was so concerned with perceived slights that he spent all his time fuming and accomplished nothing.
So a goal the mastermind, whenever you create a mastermind alliance, is make sure that you keep the score in that alliance. The goal is to keep everything working in harmony. There's got to be complete meeting of the minds without reservation of any part. Because what happens is if anybody puts their own ambition in it, there is no I in team. It subordinates the whole group. And instead of succeeding and instead of attaining the purpose, it starts to decline. And this is not only the other members, but within yourself. See, when we're clear about what we're trying to do, and you make sure that the alliance is with purpose, and you can judge others very clearly and see whether there's harmony there or not. And that's very essential of success. We can make adjustments, you know, here and there, but the goal still stays the same. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, you know what? Step 1 was determine your purpose. Step 2 was select the members of your alliance. It's the first one up here, forming a mastermind alliance. Step 1, determine your purpose. Step 2, select the members of your alliance. We're going to go on to step 3 now, which is determine your rewards. Clearly determine rewards for participants in your mastermind. You have to identify what the rewards are for your participants in your mastermind. If you have a definite chief aim and you're going to go after a purpose, what are the rewards for the participants? Clearly define those rewards.
You know, there are 10 basic motives as to the reason why people do things. The first one is to self-preservation. The second thing is love. The third one is fear. The fourth one is sex. The desire for life after death. Freedom of mind and body. Then there's anger. There's hate. But there's also a desire for recognition and self-expression. That's a great one. And the last one is wealth.
Well, wealth can play an appeal for members of the commercial enterprise for sure. But remember that other motives can play an important role. Recognition and self-expression are just as important as money to many people. Be aware that some of these motives, anger, hate, and fear, can twist the minds of your team if you rely upon them.
You got that right. Yeah, the best motivator is wealth. But you got to be willingly, and you got to make sure that when we do create the wealth that we're going to fairly and generously divide it upon the team. See, the more generous that you are towards helping others, the more help you're going to get when the other ones are ready to help them. And that's another principle of the habit of success, is the habit of going the extra mile. And we'll learn that about on chapter 5, but it's going to serve you right to understand and to incorporate within your alliance the fact that we're all going to go the extra mile. Let us stop for a second, see if anybody has any thoughts and ideas. So we're not going to.
I was going to finish up step 4, and then I was going to stop for ideas after that.
Very good.
Step 1, determine your purpose. Step 2, select the members of your alliance. Step 3, determine the rewards. Step 4, set a time and a place for your meeting. Seems like a simple enough thing to do, set a time and a place for your meeting. Your alliance must be active to do any good. Establish a definite place and time for regular meetings to ensure that you are making progress in dealing with the issues you face. Your yearly meetings will likely involve fine-tuning the plan you have made for your success, drawing upon the specialized skills of your members, etc.
What happens is this, bro. As we keep going through these goals, the harmony grows. It has been growing among us members. And what happens is that when we come to these goals, we get a flow of ideas from each one of the members involved in these goals. And as we work together over time, this thing becomes pretty exciting. I'm very excited about coming to these meetings and doing it every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. It's how amazing we haven't missed a beat in over 3.5 years. So the question arises as to what keeps us coming here. But time and place of our meetings is very essential for success.
If you think about a group of sales reps brought together for a conference, Hugo, they may arrive in general agreement about their goals, but a day or a weekend spent reinforcing their determination, listening to and incorporating their suggestions for the plan at hand will send them away fired up and eager to achieve their goals. Do not let the regular meetings take the place of frequent contact between the members. Telephone calls, notes, and even conversations in a hallway will help keep the alliance primed for action when it meets in full, so the sudden developments can be addressed quickly.
Amen to that.
So guys, we've talked tonight about the Mastermind Alliance, forming the Mastermind Alliance, the 4 steps to forming the Mastermind Alliance, your definite purpose, select the members of your alliance, determine your rewards, and set a time and a place for a meeting. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, the biggest mastermind I know was from Henry Ford when he do his business. He mastermind a lot, and he got all the capital he won because he find the good people to arrive and achieve at that point. And I think when you start a mastermind, by the definitive of purpose, you're gonna have all the capital you need if you are very sure and very concentrate with your mastermind to arrive at that power. You know, the power of the mastermind is to know really what you want and go get it with the association of the people in your mastermind. So you have to choose correctly which kind of people you need. For my part, it's for that I am in that mastermind, because in many ways, I need your knowledge. Every one of you, I need your knowledge in many ways. So it's for that I stay here. It's for that I come here. For that I'm very glad to be here, because you take me and I try to do my share and my part. But, we are very fortunate to be together tonight again and to restart that law of success by the mastermind chapter, because it's a good one. It's a very powerful one, and it's the one who's gonna make, put the cake up. It's a kind of, that's the first important thing to do, is to make a good mastermind alliance with your people and believe in them and believe in you. So if they go up, you go up with them. It's the theory of the star, the passing star. You have to put your people higher than you and be good with them. So thank you very much.
Andre, thank you for sharing that. I heard it explained, I don't know where, if I read it or not, but I heard it explained that everything that floats rises or floats to the same level. So the people that you're around will rise up to the level, and you'll all be at the same level. So we always want to strive for more. So I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
Let us take it slow, or we get too much out. Let me share a little of something I wrote if I may share something. There's one simple technique that can help you achieve what you want from life. Stay committed and inspired along the way. And it can also help you create long-lasting relationship that will be of benefit to you, not only for the short time, but we've been here a long time, for 5 years, So this could be something that can last a lifetime. See, we all need the cooperation of other people. We can't go through life trying to believe that we can do things alone. So by aligning yourself with other people, you can accomplish any given task. See, that with a mastermind group in action in your life, you will be more apt to be committed and be consistent. And in many ways, we have fun when we do these things. So every start of success requires several qualities. And the first one is that you gotta stay committed, brother. You gotta have a passion. We're not here to waste your time or anybody else's time. We're here to create success. And if one of those two things are not aligned with it, what happens is the mastermind disintegrates, and all evidence of the former existence is just going to disappear. So the goal here is for all of us to have a friendly alliance, so that this mastermind alliance will never be broken. When we started this such a while back, and you can see that this page, it grows by itself without us putting any effort in it. So the best result is when you have a group of 6 or 7 people. You don't want to get too big. You don't want to keep it too small in it. I mean, the Christ had 12 people in that group. You wonder as to how strong that worked. But see, what this does, it's a support for the journey ahead. So there are benefits. And the benefits are that you're going to get inspiration from this, that you're going to get motivated 3 times a week, that you're going to consist towards your goal. You know, it's also a method of networking. Here, we're all working in harmony, and you'll be surprised how we each are involved in each other's business, not in a bad way, but in a way that we are here to help you achieve your goals in life. So the question arises as to who should you invite? You know, when you're going to invite somebody to your mastermind, make sure that you balance your emotional thing. You know, make sure that when you pick the people that the factors are rational, that you're choosing the right partners, someone that you trust, someone that you respect, someone that has a good rapport. You know, ask some others about them before you bring somebody else to the alignment. Someone that has a pleasing personality. Well, that's got to be a must. Someone that's supportive. Someone that's not just to sit here and compete. We're not here to compete. We're here to create. You also got to be hungry for success. You got to be consistent. You got to be reliable. You got to have a positive mentality, and you have to be willing to be part of a team. You know, there's no I in a team. So the question arises as to, will you be willing to stick it out here for 3 months with us? So thank you for hearing us here. 9:22, Matt.
Thank you, Hugo. So we've talked about the law of the mastermind, or the mastermind itself. I wrote it down up here. Purpose, members, rewards, and meet. PMRM, purpose, rewards, members, and meet. You got to have a purpose. You got to choose your members, identify the rewards, and then you got to meet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about maintaining your mastermind alliance. The harmony of your alliance, is built upon the mutual agreement on your definite purpose. So I know for my main mastermind alliance that I have been working tirelessly on getting a definite purpose for our main mastermind. And we have come up for a definite purpose. And it's exciting to me because it's harmony. So imagine what it's like getting more than 2 heads together, getting more than 3 heads together. It's very difficult. You've got to get the spirit of everybody involved. So anyway, any construction project, it must be preserved with diligent work. That work will be our task as the leader. Our attention should focus on 4 areas. Hugo, do you know those 4 areas?
Confidence. Confidence is at the top of the list. I want to hang out with people that are confident. Someone that is its reliance is based on trust. Someone that's faithful. Someone that's loyal. You know, as a leader of the alliance, you got to inspire confidence in your members. You have to dedicate time to not only thyself, but to make sure that the group is working for a definite purpose. You know, at times we have to be confidential with others. I mean, you don't want to tell everybody your dreams, but that's the beauty of coming here. You have a buddy system where you can discuss the purpose of the whole group. A lot of times people give a secret without a moment's notice, and then they don't understand that ends up hurting the alliance more than helping them. So you have to have confidence in that alliance. You have to believe in it. That makes sense?
Absolutely makes sense. You got to have confidence. I wrote it down on the board up here. You can see it. You have to have understanding as well. All members of the group must possess a complete knowledge and comprehension of the nature, significance, and implication of a situation or proposition that the group faces. How can you have harmony otherwise? Now, we may employ specialists to heighten our understanding if we got the money, but every person involved must be able to deal with the core issues of every decision. And before a decision can be made, each member of our group must be convinced that it is a good decision, one which he or she can support wholeheartedly.
Pretty cool. We also got to be fair and justice with everybody, boss. You know, if you don't have fairness and justice in your mastermind alliance, how can I say, each member must agree at the outset of the contribution each one is going to make towards that enterprise. You know, all of us should be agreed on the division of the benefits and the profits. Everybody's going to deal with everyone else completely on ethical terms. If one starts doing not something ethical, one little lie, it breaks up the whole harmony of the group. And no part of the alliance should seek to seek unfairness or advantage towards any other one of the alliance. Otherwise, this thing will be done. How can I say, decisions will start to creep in and arise and completely destroy the whole thing.
Yeah, dissension can do that. You also got to have courage, though. Remember, you know, that might be fairness and justice might be a little, you know, critical, but you got to have courage. Your alliance must meet danger and difficulties with firmness, resolution, and valor. The courage to do so comes from self-confidence and a well-developed success consciousness. The courage of two separate individuals is nothing compared with that of a united team. And boy, do I know that. When I'm down or when I'm not necessarily feeling the energy, a member of my mastermind, this mastermind right here, pulls me up and gets me back and gets my head in the game. So it's a great feeling to have a mastermind.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it's this team that you have. Compare it to a battery. A single battery is less than that of a group of batteries. If you have a group of batteries, your power is exponentially more. This is another excellent example of the power of a mastermind alliance. It derives its power from its harmony. The more the minds that are linked together, the greater the power harnessed, and the more the resistance that can be overcome. Now, can you imagine if you had that type of mastermind? One that where two or more minds are harnessed, that you can overcome any resistance, and the more minds that you harness, the more resistance you can overcome. And I think it's because of the contribution of each member and the brain power of each member being multiplied. When anytime there's two or more minds put together, there's that third mind that's created. That third mind can be powered sufficiently with two or more minds, and the more minds that power that third mind, the more ideas and the more thoughts and the more telepathy can go on. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and this thing is working. The thing is, this thing is working because we experience it. You know, success for me is the way to organize people around me and to negotiate with them in good faith to realize what we have to do. You know, we have to find the quality in each member of the mastermind. We have to find it without the tell it, you know, by showing up, by the effort they do each day. And what is not by what they tell, it is always by what they do each day to get better in their life. You know, it's for that the power of the mastermind is so powerful, because when you show up, you know, in life you have to show up. You have to show up on your life. You have to show up on your job, pay your tax, pay this, pay that. You have to show up, you know, everywhere. And by showing up, this when you got your own mastermind and trust that the people on it, because trust is it's faith. It's faith in somebody You don't really know very personal, but with the time, you're going to know them because your mind going to associate with them. And many times we know in that mastermind when somebody doesn't feel well. And like you said, Matt, Hugo, when the energy go low, one of us, when they get high, you have to put people higher with that kind of energy. It's for that the mastermind is very important and it's working. That's the key for the success. The first key is that. The first key of everything in life is the mastermind. If you believe in it, you're gonna, well, from my part, I'm very happy with you boys. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Andre. We're about halfway through, guys. First was forming a mastermind alliance, then was maintaining a mastermind alliance. Now we're going to go into form an alliance with yourself.
Can I share a time real quick?
Oh, of course.
There's this guy that's always down the road that's always complaining about everything. He's always got the woos. He never has no work. His health is ill. And he came and asked, how can I stop this? And I didn't want to be harsh with him. I just told him, bro, if you keep having those negative thoughts, you're going to keep getting the same results. So the question arises as to what can you do to stop it? You can't stop all the negative things that are going around your life, but you can stop the way that you think about those things. You can make it in your mind that you're going to adopt some benefits of all the bad things that are happening in your mind and stop dwelling on the things that you don't want from life. Why not get better? Start thinking of the things that you do want, and stop focusing on the things that you do not want. I'm telling you this story just because to let you know the fact, like a lot of times we may need, let's say for instance, $1,000 can be easily found within a group of people. $10,000 might be a better difficulty to do so. But if you go into a bank asking for $10,000 and your mental attitude is about all that negative and all that I can do part of it and that I have to pay my bills and without it I can't do, it's most likely that you will not get that loan. You got to go in there with a self-positive attitude where you stand strong, believing that you can do this. And when you start thinking that way, what I'm trying to say here is that when you start working on thyself, before you start working on anybody else, your results will come a lot quicker. So make sure you make a mastermind alliance between you and yourself. Sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to take you off course there for a minute.
Oh, you haven't taken me off course, my brother. We got the
I like that. I like that.
Uh-huh. So forming a mastermind alliance with yourself, it sounds like you've got a good mastermind alliance with yourself, brother.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that point gets across.
You do. And we all should have a good mastermind alliance with ourselves. A woman came to see him once, our author, and began to tell him of all her difficulties. Her sight was almost gone, and she had given up on doctors, who she said were quacks. She had lost most of her money investing in movies. Her husband was a philanderer, and her mother had died after a long and awful illness, and her relatives were a plague. Her bitter catalog of woes went on, and if I hadn't felt sorry for her, I wouldn't have listened to them. She was so full of self-pity. Apparently not one good or constructive thing had passed her way in 20 years. Mr. Hill, she said, why do all these things happen to me? He didn't want to be harsh with her, but somehow he had to get her face to facts. And he said, frankly, with your negative attitude, it's a wonder that you were able to do anything at all. I'm not a bit surprised that your family bothers you or that your husband runs around. I'm amazed he hasn't left home. The lady asked what she could do to stop him. You can't do anything for him now, our author said, but you can do something for yourself. You've been thinking about your losses to the exclusion of everything else. The more you concentrate on them, the more you attract other losses. Stop thinking about them. Make up your mind that you're going to benefit by your experience, and then adopt a definite plan for regaining your sight. Dwell upon the idea that your eyes will get better, decide that you will seek medical help and believe that it will work. If you can change your attitude toward yourself, your husband will see something to excite his interest in you again. Your relatives will stop seeing you as a doormat. I can't tell you any more than that now. When you manage to put yourself into a more positive frame of mind, come see me again. Before I do anything for you, you must do something for yourself. And this really chimes into what Hugo was just saying about a positive mental attitude. Forming a mastermind alliance with yourself, you want to be able to talk to yourself in a positive way. And that's what he was saying to that lady. He's like, get out of here until you can get your head together. Have a more positive approach to life. And I tell you what, lady, your husband doesn't want to hear from you until you can do it for yourself. So go out and do it for yourself. And that's what he was telling her. And he told her this story because he wanted to say the same thing to us. Whatever personal obstacles we face, we must start getting to know that side of our personality that knows no obstacles, that recognizes no defeats. Cultivate a friendship with the other you so that no matter what you are doing, you are allied with someone who shares your goals. All the philosophy and advice in this book about persuading and motivating others will be much more useful to you if you practice it on yourself. Now, if we've convinced ourselves that we need and deserve a $10,000 loan, we won't just walk into a bank and ask for it. We're going to cultivate that friendship and appreciation of the loan officer. We will present them with a list of the possibilities for the project we have in mind. We will outline our solid plans for repayment, and we will do it with infectious confidence. We will succeed.
Amen, brother.
We will begin to take charge of the efforts of others only when we take complete charge of the power of our own mind.
Do share a thought. Andre, Anthony?
Well, it's very powerful. You have to organize your mind first. If you want to attract people who got a mind that very organized, you attract who you are. If you are a negative people, well, you're gonna attract negative people. If you listen too much to the news, you're gonna lose your time to be a commentator. And to be a commentator of the news when the guy tells the news, it's a good way to lose your time, If you go on the positive side of life and you start to acting positively, you're gonna attract that kind of people for sure. The capital gonna come. It have to come to somewhere. If you gotta, if you get organized, you cannot be organized, and that's very important in life. To be organized, you don't be organized with something else around you or inside you. And it's very important to come to this mastermind with an open mind, to learn something each night. That's what I learned with you, gentlemen. These love successes are very old, but it was tested, and many people tested. They tested and they tested. It takes 25 years to be wrote. So it's a big duty. So the mastermind, what is the reason you come here to master this law of success with you? You go to Napoleon and Matt and Anthony, because we want to be master somewhere. So thank you very much.
Thank you. In the form an alliance with yourself, we went over positive mind, definite plan, and take charge of your mind. So thank you for that.
9:39, and let's see. We always try to open up the call at the end of the call, so let's see if we can go a little bit more. May I, Matt?
Well, Hugo, we've got cultivate mastermind alliances wherever you can. That's the last point, and it's very quick to finish up, and then we can open up the call if you want.
Very good.
So do you want to go ahead and tell us how you cultivate mastermind alliances wherever we can?
Well, once we recognize the benefits of the Mastermind Alliance, we're going to understand that it can serve us in many areas, not just in this wealth creation thing. You can make process on many different fronts of your life. You can achieve personal success, not only in money, but in health, wealth, love. And one of the biggest ones is in your marriage. And if for whatever reason your marriage is not working right, you can rekindle that love emotion and try it one more time. You know, there's nothing greater than the like when you're trying to pursue a love kind. So make sure that the mastermind alliance with the person you love is deeply of importance. You got to understand that if you are married and you have not built a relationship principle in harmony, it's crucial that you do so. You know, you have to do some reselling. That's okay. So let us set aside some time that every day so that we can talk to our significant other, not only about achieving our goals, but as to how they are doing, and relying on your definite purpose to build the persuasion, the abilities to convince your partner of the benefits that by working together you can accomplish a lot more than trying to go at it alone. It is very significant, and it's also of the most important to do so in your marriage, because otherwise everything else becomes a drag, and we become an unwilling partnership, and that's not good for any adventure. So I know it's a lot to take in, and this is the hope is that you hear Napoleon Hill speaking through us. So if you haven't embarked on that mission that comes from thinking that marriage is not something that's very essential for success, you got to think that again. You know, on the laws of success, we heard that there should be 3 mastermind alliances at first. The first one between you and your creator. I mean, nobody can take you away from that. To thyself be true. Because if you're not true to thyself and to your creator, man, your mind is not going to be clear. But after that, it should be the significant other that you have right next to you, the love of your life. You know, they say that behind every great person, there's always someone behind them that is outshined, that is not talked about. And that is the cause of great success. So your marriage is essential for success. And the third alliance is like we're doing here. Get together with a group of people that you can get education from. And that's the next step. It's the education. You know, no education is ever completed. I mean, we can rely on the special knowledge of others. That's what we do here. But you should only learn every possible thing that's necessary for attaining your goal. In this case, that's why this mastermind alliance is so important, because that's where we get the sum total of the knowledge of the individual group, and that's essential for success. We also get it from books and magazines and TVs and all that stuff. So make sure that the thing that you put in the rich corner of your mind is good education, not just a bunch of knowledge that is unnecessary towards your chief aim. And make it a habit. Make it a habit to at least read for 15, 20 minutes. That's our goal here in the Mastermind, that you take each chapter and just simply read for 15 minutes a night. You'll be surprised by the end of the week how you have impressed those things in your subconscious mind, and then it makes you act in ways that you can't even comprehend. And then again, let us not forget how important it is to have harmony in all the members, so that we are constantly strengthening our harmony in our alliance. It's a crucial aspect of this. The ability to inspire in others so that they will help you accomplish your goal. 9:43. Thank you.
Thank you, Hugo. You know, tonight, guys, we talked about forming a mastermind alliance. We talked about maintaining our alliance. We talked about forming an alliance with ourselves and cultivating an alliance with whoever we can. I don't feel like I commented too much on cultivating an alliance with whoever you can. But in my final remarks, I'll comment more on it. But those are the main topics that we discussed for tonight. Like we promised you, this is essentially what a mastermind is. And the mastermind is 2 or more people. But like we promised you, we're starting to dig deeper into what a mastermind is. You can form one with yourself, with other people. You can form one for a specific purpose. If you're hunting for treasure, you can form a mastermind to go to the Amazon jungle. You know, there's different kinds of masterminds. So with that, we'll open up the call for everybody's thoughts, and then we'll close out the call.
Well, I'm going to go very fast. For the young people who listen to that call and they don't know what to do in life, I think a mastermind alliance may help you to achieve many things in your life. Just finishing your 12th grade school, just have a good job and start a small investment company to buy houses with two good guys who got the same idea. A mastermind alliance is very important in your life because you're gonna grow with it. And if you come back to that call and see what we do, I'm sure you're gonna succeed with us. So I hope many people are gonna come and take what we give it to you very freely, and we pay the price to know it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Andre. That was very nice. Matt?
Yeah, the cultivate alliances wherever you can fact. That's something that's very important to me. It's something very important to you. Because if you're like me, we're here for success, whatever that success means to you. And I tell you that if you don't have those mastermind alliances where you've cultivated them wherever you can, then you aren't going to have the advantages that other people have. A lot of people form these mastermind alliances naturally. They have a definite chief aim. They don't have to look at it. They just go and they do. We're looking at it. We're looking at the scientific approach to this. So if you have a definite chief aim, the scientific approach next is to form these mastermind alliances, not only with yourself, but with other people. Now, I wanted to tell you about an experience that our author, Napoleon Hill, had in helping Franklin D. Roosevelt with a major mastermind that ended up helping break the back of the Depression in 1933. After the president had entered the office of president, he sent for Napoleon Hill to go work for him. They created one of the most outstanding masterminds that this nation has ever known. It consisted of both houses of Congress working in harmony with the president, something that had never been done before. And the majority of the publishers of the newspapers in America, regardless of their political leanings, got behind the president as a result of this mastermind operation. Now, this mastermind operation was set up in the White House, and the radio station operators, without any reference whatsoever to their political leanings, got behind the president. And they used the material which Napoleon Hill prepared to send out to go over the air. In other words, material that we used, or they used, to sell good features of the United States instead of dwelling upon the bad ones, and then the churches of all denominations. Napoleon had never seen such a job as they did. The priests and the clergymen went into their pool, and they did a wonderful job of selling the United States of America to the people. They brought the country out of chaos from all political and religious leanings. They have never before had a people get so squarely behind a president as they did back in FDR, back in those perilous days of 1933. I just wanted to share that because that's the power of a mastermind. Now imagine if that mastermind continued to have that negative outlook. Things would not have gotten better. But because our author had orchestrated a positive message and gotten everybody to get behind the president, they changed the course of our country forever. So not only do we have our author to thank, we've got the Law of the Mastermind to thank. So thank you, author.
Thank you. Agree, man. Agree. You know, our goal here at this mastermind and the Laws of Success in 60 Lessons is to help Napoleon Hill and the organization grow by leaps and bounds. So we like to give thanks to Don Green and all of us that believe, you know, we think that this is just a small group here tonight, but we're here for a purpose. Thank you. This is what you heard tonight. So our goal is that, yes, you join us and that you become part of the Hill Foundation. Okay? Here is a place where you can mastermind with other people so that we can keep you accountable. So we got through a lot tonight, Matt, and it's only Tuesday. So come Thursday, we're going to dive into the real Laws of Success. Now, I don't know if you can see it. And if your book doesn't look like this, you have done a misuse in your book. Make sure that you write on it. Make sure that you scribble on it. Make sure that you get all the best benefits with it. And then come over here. And the goal is that at the end of the call, we all have a time frame where we can share our essays as to what we heard and how it made you feel. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Can I share an essay?
Sure.
Next time.
No. Can't beat yourself up, my man. You got something to say? Before we end the call, we still got 9 minutes. You know, if you go last, you're the public speaker. So no pressure there. 9 minutes. Andre, you say that prayer at the end?
I'll give it a thought real quick.
Thank you, sir.
So, going over everything, starting with forming a mastermind alliance and beginning with a purpose, I think that's really what everyone is looking for, regardless of a mastermind. You're looking for purpose in life. And that's one of the things that probably 98 out of 100 people are lacking. That's what Napoleon Hill found back when he did the study, and I'm sure it's very similar today. Many people go to college. They don't even know why they're going to college, but their friends are going, so they go. And then they wind up with a bunch of debt and work as a server at a restaurant. Not everyone. These are just some cases, but that's what happens when you lack an actual definite purpose, is other people's opinions will sway you. When you form a mastermind alliance, everyone's looking out for each other. They're not looking out, as a parent, I want my child to go to college and become a doctor because it makes me look better. But a mastermind is one of those situations where everyone is saying, what can I do to give the other people? And that's where one of the comments really hit me, was that a mastermind isn't for just everyone. If you're not wanting to give, a mastermind probably isn't for you. So, one of the things to maintain alliance is simply giving. And if you don't start with that, you're not going to be able to maintain it for very long. No matter how much confidence you have, if you're not fair, it just doesn't matter. People will get upset. Your mastermind falls apart. So to really drive things home, everyone says you've got to love yourself. If you don't love yourself first, then you can't love anyone else. And when you form an alliance with yourself, and you really know what's inside and are constantly going deeper within to find why you are doing what you're doing, then you show up more. If you know that you're doing it because of your wife, because of your kids, because you want to make a bigger impact, you want to be able to pay it forward, you want to be able to donate to causes that are important to you. And when you start stacking all these things and it becomes so important that there's no way you can fail, that builds that confidence within you to a level. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. He started saying, I'm going to donate so many meals per year, and it kept growing and growing and growing, and now I think it's like 100 million meals a year. That's just insane to think about. A single person started with just giving one Thanksgiving meal at a time, and it turned into 100 million meals a year. And that's really been by building mastermind alliances with very powerful people, with people that have built great businesses that have impacted many, many lives. So on the last part, to cultivate alliances wherever you can, through your marriage, through education. Education can be through self-education, and like this group, it started with just small friendships, and then we ended up becoming more. And the same with my marriage. I was working in a cell phone store, and my wife came in, bought a cell phone, and years later I had met her again at her job, and then years later we had connected again. So you never know when a interaction is going to really pay the fruitage. It can be many years later from that initial interaction, that initial mastermind. So I definitely see the power. I'm very grateful for this mastermind, and I'm grateful for other alliances in the past. And I'm excited to move forward. Thank you, guys.
Very much, Anthony. Very powerful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna set the prayer, gentlemen, if you want.
What about me? My chopped liver?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh, divine providence, I ask not for more riches, but more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, consisting in the power to control and direct my own mind, whatever ends I might desire, by the great Napoleon. That's the ending of this call, if you will.
Have a blessed night with love in your heart.
All right, all right. Thank you. We go.
We should be off Facebook now, but we're still together.
Penny.
Let me tell you something, Andre.
What?
You didn't let me speak. What am I, chopped liver?
Oh, wait, just a sec.
Don't make too much. You are very good, boys. I'm very proud of you.
What's up, dog? You gonna let me talk?
You and Matt interact very well. I truly like it. They are very good. Both of you, my men, you interact muito perfecto. And it's gonna be better than better. Don't forget that. This thing works.
You still left me hanging, dude. Oh.
Well, my man, this thing works.
You got your final word in there.
Yeah, I love it, bro. It was great, dude. Thank you, Anthony. That was awesome. All right. So where do we go from here? You know, one thing I want to say real quick is, bro, I wanted to do a Zoom call not tonight so much, but I finished a course and all is well there. But in the course, in the course, they have this thing where you can drop and drag videos. Still got 2 weeks. I believe it's until the 20 when you can't put nothing more in there. And my thought was like, if maybe we'll be able to drop a couple of videos in there as to what we're doing, and then whoever watches that thing can see what the heck we're trying to do here.
You have to answer.
All good.
All right. So for tonight, everything's all right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Why?
I have this lady that I invited.
Yep, we did good tonight, guys. We went over.
And you, Matt, are you happy with your count? You
What's
do
it?
great, my man. You do bloody great.
I think it's a work in progress.
Well, with all the stuff behind him, it's very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The white stuff, wrote it, always go down to the example. It's very good. You are bloody good. You read your goddamn book.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, gentlemen. Very proud of you. Let's see that in a month, huh?
What are you doing for the channel?
Full of people. Maybe 2 million people gonna be there.
Give me a
5
second.
million. No, don't give you second.
No. I invited this lady and she was part of that call, so I wanted to see
No.
what she thought she should have talked. Never
That's
mind.
very good. But me, this lady, lady.
The lady.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend for you, Andre.
Lady.
One.
I got a girlfriend for you.
I'm too top shape to got one, man.
All right, so we're not, nobody's watching us now.
I don't know. I hope. I hope so.
Hey, Matt, it's just a work in progress, bro. I know you're feeling the same way I'm feeling, like, but you know what? Let us. One thing is, let us never try to change ourselves for nobody else. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think we can change to do better.
Oh, definitely, bro. But if we're hearing it from Andre and Anthony that it was okay, so let's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I feel today. That's my nugget from tonight.
It was good then. It was good. We did good.
Oh, wait.
So on Thursday night, we finished up the Law of the Mastermind in this book. So we're going to continue the Mastermind from other sources. We're going to talk about the Mastermind.
From the big book, but the thing with the big book is that
That's the law of success. Lah. We go back
Yes.
to the law of success. Tonight it was the key of something else. The key of success, I think.
Law
Yeah,
of the Science of Success.
this is a class. This is a class. So
That book, I don't got it, but I heard it on audio.
the thing is this, Andre, that as we can tell today, we can go through each chapter in 45 minutes.
For sure.
Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah.
I mean, we did it. We can't do that with the laws of success. It's going to take a
It's
lot
too big.
longer.
The law of success, it's too big.
But
The law of success, the mastermind, I think it got a 25 page. So
and that's why I wanted to do the essay, so that people will kind of understand that what we get into on Thursday. Otherwise, on Thursday, I'll start winging it with my essay at first, if you guys let me.
doesn't matter for me, it's okay, but don't forget that the law of success, the book is very big. So,
That's why I believe that the best way is to break it down by the four of us, and we each write an essay on those pages that we need to read, and then on Thursday's call we can come and everybody has 15 minutes.
no, me, I like it the way it is.
Okay, boss.
No, man, because the interaction between you and Matt are so good.
Okay.
That's the place we're gonna pass.
Okay.
That's the place we're gonna pass, and people gonna be got the habit to see you both interaction.
Okay.
Because in 45 minutes, after 45 minutes, people doesn't listen nothing.
I agree.
Because like I
Well,
said,
here's somebody.
sorry, go for it.
Did you see you said after 45 minutes people don't listen. Did you see on the Facebook post at 56 minutes, 43 seconds, Feliciana says, I'm calling Gene Schroeder from Stockton, San Francisco to listen to this wonderful group chat.
That's good.
So people do listen past 45 minutes. She
Yeah,
commented.
but not always. For what I know, for what they teach me when I was at my job, you got really the interest to learn something
Yeah.
and take the time to write what you said, Matt, and what Hugo said. To take the time to write, not just listening. You got the kind of interaction between you and the people who listen to you. Because after 45 minutes, to just listening, it takes a lot of energy. And don't forget you are sitting. Me too, and the people who listen to you, they're not running. And they're not paid to be there. So for that, they're gonna pay to be there. Not the same. So if they learn something in half hour they don't know from nowhere, and you tell it, you go tell it, and Anthony tell it, and me, I go on it. Well, they're gonna come back. It's just in the phrase. Sometimes it's just a phrase. The interest of the people pop up. And he said, hey, that guy, he know what the fuck he's talking about, because I passed that stage, or I still stuck in that stage. You know what I mean? So it's for that. You are very good, both of you. I truly like it like that. Just my opinion.
There you go.
Based it on fact.
Well, let us just say that every call that we had has not gone past the hour. Very few have gone past the hour.
I know that.
But hold on,
I don't said don't do an hour or two. I just said 45 minutes is the maximum.
Okay.
Somebody gonna listen. If you go at university when you got a magistral court, after 45 minutes, personally, I fucking sleep.
I agree.
If it was organized and you have good content, people will listen. So I think that tonight had good content and it was organized. So
For sure.
Good. I like that, man.
yeah.
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. Tony Robbins talks about this with his events because people have trouble sitting through a 2-hour movie. And you have to really engage them to be able to keep people going. We're only focused on an hour versus 2 hours, 3 hours, or like Tony Robbins does, 12 hours straight for his events and then 3-4 days in a row. But, I think that, like Andre said, the two of you really were engaging in the back and forth. And I think that if we keep doing that and keep refining it and, focusing on engaging more, hopefully we'll have some interaction from comments in the future as well. So,
we got lots of comments. Did you see the comments?
Nope.
Yeah, we got comments.
I'm not on Facebook.
Well,
Yeah,
when you said that was a problem because I've been watching and I'm not getting any updates on comments.
It looks like it was posted to the group twice.
To the group?
I posted it to the group accidentally the second time, but on the first time that it was posted, there's 6 comments.
And the second time?
No, on the first time.
I was part of a training course by the great Napoleon Hill. Not Napoleon Hill, Gino Nicoli. The guy was teaching us prospecting and closing, and he would go for 90 minutes. At the end of an hour and a half, he said, "Are you ready?" And the guy spoke for 20 minutes. And those 20 minutes were more valuable than the hour and a half. And I wonder how many people really waited after that hour and a half to listen to what he had to say for the last 20 minutes. Food for thought. But I agree on the 45-minute mark. We haven't passed any time. We haven't got more than an hour. And Andre made sure that he cheated me out of talking. I love you, Andre. Just kicking your ass. But other than that, it was a great call, bro. Awesome. We picked people's interest. The goal was to bring one person to the call as we spoke today. So hopefully we have that lady. She was part of my other mastermind that I've been having with those people for over a year. But that other mastermind disintegrated. So I told her that this is where she needs to be. So hopefully she'll stick around, and at least we have the first one. Fair enough?
So let's make us for the panelists that are always there, and then let's tell people that we can rotate them in and out. So when we have people wanting to be on the video, that we only have guests. We don't invite somebody full-time to the panel.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So then we'll invite them to the Zoom call so they can be participating with us, not on the live feed.
Right.
Cool.
We can invite them to be a panelist as a guest. Hey, would you like to come and share what you know about the mastermind principle tonight at 9? And then we'll put them on video just like us.
Okay. But that's different than a live group, because on the live group, at least somebody should be, when they ask questions or something, how can they get in and ask questions? How can they get into the live page?
They can get into the live page and ask questions. Somebody's just got to be watching the page.
Yeah, I just watch it, and you are a brilliant speaker. Feliciana Gatto.
In the future, we got to watch the Facebook group too, because I was watching it the whole time and disappointed no one was commenting, and I didn't even get a single notification of a single comment.
Do you see them now, Anthony?
I found that I had to refresh the page a bunch and scroll way down to find it.
Yeah.
It goofed things up for my view. Because on Facebook, on the top of the page, I've got the pinned post, then the one published by you, and that's what I was following. I didn't even pay attention, I guess, but then there's like videos and photos, and then down past there is when I finally found the comments.
Yeah, that's where it was. We got 52 views.
3 share. So it's good.
All right. I did prospect 2 people, man. I don't know if they came to the call or not. All right, what else?
I guess that's it.
Yep.
Very cool. Mañana.
Viva la mañana, Señor de la Torre and Señor Castro and Señor Bassett. See you in la mañana.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm going to be alive.
With all this information.
All right. Take care, gentlemen. It was a delightful pleasure to be with you tonight again.
Nice job tonight.
Bye-bye.
Yep. You are a good gentleman, and I truly appreciate it, my both speaker, public speaker. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Ciao.
Bye.
Ça va faire, là.